Hard sports all plays. Yeah. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Tuesday, October 31st, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. I didn't have too bad of a day yesterday. I think I was six. What was it? Of course, I'll forget. 6-3.
I went 6-2, so I did pretty well. Got my Major League Baseball right, NFL pick right, NBA. I went 2-1, and I went 2-1 in NHL. Winnipeg got me. Rangers, baby.
All right, yeah, I was 6-3. So pretty good day.
Vegas won in overtime. I watched it.
Yeah, I knew they were winning.
What'd you think about all these NFL trades so far?
Kind of surprised me a little bit that Washington's getting rid of everybody like they are, because they haven't been that. I mean, it ain't like they've been that bad this year. They've been competitive, just haven't been able to. And they got rid of Sweat and then traded Chase Young to the 49ers, which is crazy that 49ers just keep loading up on that defensive lineman.
For only a third-round pick. I figured one Sweat or another name you just said. Young. I figured one of them were going to go. I didn't figure they was going to keep both of them. But I didn't think they'd get rid of both of them.
No, once Sweat went to the Bears, I figured that Young was going to be staying in Washington. That surprised me. Vikings did get a quarterback. They got Dobbs from Arizona.
I don't think that's a bad pickup. They didn't have to give up a lot. Dobbs has been decent this year for Arizona, and he don't have near the weapons at Arizona that he's going to have in Minnesota. I've seen he struggled against the zone. Been very good against man-to-man defense, but struggled against the zone. But with more weapons, that might change. So, good opportunity for Dobbs, and see if Minnesota can still make the playoffs.
Yeah, Minnesota's in a weird position because now you got Cousins hurt, but Cousins also a free agent after this season. So, I mean, it could be that they're going to be looking for a new quarterback for next year. They might not want to bring Cousins back. Now you got this injury. How's he going to come back from the injury and all that? So it's going to be interesting. And if Minnesota does decide to move on, who's going to be interested in Cousins with coming off this Achilles injury? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Cousins, because Cousins was having a good year.
Yeah, he was having a pretty good year. Yeah, I agree.
I know a lot of people want to hate on, but dude plays well, and Minnesota's struggles haven't always been on him. A lot of times it's been the defense. Their offense can score a lot of people, score 28 points and lose because the defense can't stop anybody. I mean, we're going through that in Indianapolis right now. I mean, we're the only team in the NFL that scored over 20 points every game, but our defense is giving up 40 a fucking game. So
Yeah.
it don't matter how many, you can't outscore everybody. You got to get that figured out on the defensive side of the ball, and that's something that Vikings have struggled with in the past. And then, of course, this year so far, the Colts are struggling with that. Our offense hasn't been bad. I mean, scoring over 20 points a game with different quarterbacks, uh, and not having Taylor, one of your best weapons at the beginning of the year. So I mean, the offense has not been bad. The offensive line's been better, but right now it's the defense that they got to figure something out on the defensive side of the ball.
I also seen Cleveland's getting rid of Peoples Jones.
Yeah.
He's not really panned out in Cleveland.
So going into Detroit.
On Detroit, maybe that's a good move for him. I think Cleveland needs more weapons, so I don't know. But I guess he wasn't panning out, so I guess they figured. So we'll see. Maybe a new start in Detroit will help him. Do you think Devontae Adams is going to be moved?
I don't think so. I think if he gets moved, it'll be at the end of the season. I don't see the moving on from him right now. I mean, he's really all the Raiders have right now. They don't have a whole lot on the offensive side of the ball. They're struggling.
They had trouble getting targets to him, and I mean, if you look at some of the passes thrown to him last night, there's no way he could catch.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think they screwed up. I think the Raiders really screwed up when they let Carr go.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. Hey, what's going on, Glenn? Yeah, it surprised me that they let Carr go last year. Yeah, at the end of last season. Well, not even at the end of last season. During the season last year, they kind of just kicked him out of the building and started starting the other guy, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't think the Raiders are going to do anything until they get a new head coach. I think they made a big mistake. They should have hired that Pasaccio dude. I don't know if I pronounced his name right.
Yeah.
But he came in there and had him there right there by the playoffs. The team was playing hard for him. Then they go away from him and go to McDaniels, and it just went downhill quick from there. So yeah, I think they made a mistake with the head coach hire. I still think thank God every day that Josh McDaniels didn't come to the Colts and decided to back out of that, because I wasn't a fan of him coming here anyway. And then I know Frank Reich didn't necessarily work out, but I don't know if Frank Reich was that last year. Frank Reich was probably as bad as McDaniels has been. Yeah, I watched some of the game. I didn't see a whole lot of the fourth quarter last night. Pacers defense must have played decent, because they only gave up like 115 points or something, but we only scored like 105. Our offense went a little cold last night. You're going to have that in the 82 game season. You're not going to win them all. So, but I did think they'd beat the Bulls last night. That kind of surprised me, but I did see the Pacers lead the league in assists.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're playing some good basketball. Just came up a little short last night. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and jump into the Major League Baseball World Series, as we saw the Rangers win Game 3 last night, take a 2-1 advantage. The Rangers are now still undefeated on the road in the playoffs. I don't know why they've been so good on the road and kind of struggled at home. It's kind of opposite for how most teams are during the playoffs. But the Rangers have been tough to beat on the road here in this playoffs, and this is a game Diamondbacks really need tonight. You don't want to go down 3-1, even though I know the next game is in Arizona again. But the way Rangers have been playing on the road, and the Rangers are, I mean, they're the favored team. Everybody thinks that they got more talent on that team. You don't want to dig yourself a 3-1 hole. Even though I know the Rangers have struggled at home some, but you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you got to win 3 in a row. But the Diamondbacks, let's see what's going on here. The Rangers are 1.5 run favorites tonight on the road. They're minus 104 on the money line. The Diamondbacks are actually favored on the money line at minus 112. So this game's close to a pick 'em again. Over-unders at 9.5. You're going to have Haney on the mound for the Rangers. He's 0-0 with a 6.00 ERA so far in the playoffs. For the Diamondbacks, you're going to have Mantiply, who is 2-0 with a 4.26 ERA so far in the playoffs. So Diamondbacks pitchers had a little bit more success so far in the playoffs, but Rangers being on the road, they haven't lost on the road yet. It does worry me a little bit that the Rangers are still relying so much on the home run ball. I mean, that's how they won last night. They scored 3 in the second. 2 of them was off a 2-run shot by Seager, and that was basically all the runs that was scored the rest of the game. And held on, win 3-1. So still worries me a little bit that the Rangers haven't really been producing a whole lot of runs other than the long ball. But they've been able to, and they did have a couple injuries. I think Scherzer ended up with a little bit of an injury last night, and then the big guy Garcia
got hurt.
So kind of I like to see how Garcia is. Haven't really heard a whole lot on him as of yet, but I'm gonna go with the Rangers on the money line. They've been hot on the road, so I'm gonna stay with them on the road tonight on the money line.
Yeah, I'm going Rangers money line too. Also in that game early on, I was watching, and Arizona, I can't remember the player's name, ran through a sign at third base and got thrown out.
That was in the first or second inning.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe in first, could have been second, and that could have been big. I mean, because they lost 3-1. That would have been a second run for him, and you don't know if that could have changed anything or not. But he ran through the sign and was out by a mile. So that was a big mistake for Arizona. But yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go with Texas on the money line.
Yeah, he clearly ran through the stop sign on that. I mean, it wasn't like it was one that the base coach got the stop sign up late or something. I mean, it was a clear cut. The base coach had to stop sign up way early enough. Yep. He tried to make a play. Sometimes that works out for you. Sometimes it don't. Believe me, being a Reds fan, we've seen that quite a bit this year with De La Cruz. Sometimes his speed is a blessing, and then other times it was a little bit of a curse because he'd get a little too over zealous and want to really push it. And sometimes it paid off. Other times it'd be outs that, like, you're like, man, that kills us in that situation. You never want to make it out at home plate, especially the first out or the third out. I mean, I'd rather make the third out, I guess, at home than at another base, but you don't want to cost yourself a chance to make runs. That's one thing I don't understand watching baseball now. Used to, if you had a runner on third base and there was a ground ball in the infield, the runner would hold up at third, or at least make the fielder look at you and make a decision before you take off. Now it's just a crack of the bat. It don't matter if it's a ground ball infield; they're taking off and just easy throw to home, get you out.
Yeah, we've seen a lot this year.
And I thought it was just the Reds being stupid doing it, but every team does it. And it don't make no sense to me. Why are you giving up that out at home? Make them make the play. Yeah, they're probably going to get an out, but get the out at first, and you still have a runner at third in scoring position. I mean, don't make a whole lot of sense to do that all the time.
Or at the very least, you might have a little bit better chance if they throw the first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You take off, get off a little bit, make them make that throw to first, then try to go.
But then you might have a better chance at least, not just being out by 30 feet. That's crazy.
And we've seen that a lot this season. It seems like more this season than in years past.
We've seen I've seen a lot of teams do it, but we've seen the Reds do it a lot this year.
All right, let's see. We'll go to college football tonight. We got some action on a Tuesday night for the first time this season. I've been wondering when they were going to start the MAC games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but got some MAC games tonight. First one is Northern Illinois at Central Michigan. Central Michigan's been involved in this Michigan sign stealing scandal. I guess I think the staffer from Michigan was at a Central Michigan game like a couple weeks ago or whatever, and was on the sideline as dressed up as coach. So they were showing today. So we'll find out a little bit more about that. And it sounds like that Michigan and Harbaugh are close to an extension deal. So hell, he might get an extension in the middle of all this going on. to me, it's a whole lot of talk about nothing right now because it's not like they're going to have a decision made before the end of this season. It's not the decision ain't going to come out till later. So need to be to me. Let's focus on what's going. Let's focus on the season, what's going on now, and worry about that later. Because the Big Ten or Michigan have like 90 days from whenever the NCAA investigation's over to do whatever they want to do. So it's not like this is going, and the NCAA investigation is not even done yet. So it's not like this is going to be done before the end of the season. So it's not going to have an effect on this season. Well, I guess later on maybe it could, but to me, the more I hear about it, it sounds like got people at Michigan. There's a couple staffers at Michigan that want Harbaugh out, and I think they're trying to do everything they can to get him out. That's kind of the way from what I'm hearing. Some of the reports I've seen. So, and careful what you wish for, because Harbaugh's done a real good job there in Michigan. And remember what Michigan was before Harbaugh got there. And I'm sure there's plenty of NFL teams that would take a Jim Harbaugh right now as a coach.
Oh, no doubt.
But Northern Illinois, Central Michigan, get back on track here. Northern Illinois is a 6.5 point favorite on the road. They're minus 235 on the money line. Central Michigan is plus 190 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 46.5. Northern Illinois is 4-4, 3-1 in conference. Central Michigan is 4-4, 2-2 in conference. I like Northern Illinois here. Central Michigan just lost over the weekend to Ball State. Ball State's been struggling this season. I mean, that's the team in the MAC I root for because that's our hometown team. But they've Ball State, I think, has 2 wins this season now, like 2-6 on the year. I think
so,
something like that. Central Michigan had plays a couple teams tough, but if you looking at their stats, Northern Illinois has a little bit better defense and a little better offense. I like Northern Illinois at the -6 here. Then you have Buffalo at Toledo. Toledo, this has changed a little bit. Toledo's a minus 14.5 point favorite now. It was at 15. They are minus 690 on the money line. Buffalo's plus 480 on the money line. Over-unders at 49.5. Buffalo's 3-5 on the season. They're 3-1 in the MAC. I think they are second in their division, if I remember correctly, because they're in the opposite division of Toledo. Toledo is 7-1 on the season, 4-0 in the MAC. I like Toledo in this game. The 14.5 points does scare me just a little bit because this Buffalo team's not terrible. They're a decent team, but I do like the way Toledo's defense has been playing. So I'm going to go with Toledo at the minus 14.5 in this game. That's really the only 2 college football games I think there was tonight.
Yeah, I didn't pick any college today. I didn't. Honestly, didn't even look and see if there was any.
All right. And we'll go over to the NBA.
Well, some big news in the NBA. What'd you think about this? Harden finally getting his wish.
I wouldn't have that guy on my team for nothing. That dude, I used to be a Harden fan, but he's rubbed me the wrong way. He'll go somewhere he'll fight to get somewhere, and then a month later he's not happy, and he'll cry and whine and do whatever he can to try to get out of there. I think he's done I think he's done 76ers dirty in this whole thing by not even coming around, not even being part of the team. They brought him in thinking he was going to be a big part of helping them get a championship there with Joel Embiid. And I don't know, either he shows up out of shape or it's always something. He's not getting enough shots. It's always seems like it's always about him. And I think that's why he hasn't got that championship, because he's not really I don't think he's ever really been a team guy. NBA, we only had 3 games tonight? I think it was
2 or 3.
Yeah, 3 games tonight. First game, New York Knicks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks are 3.5 point favorites, minus 164 on the money line. Over-unders at 212.5. I know Donovan Mitchell was a game time decision last I seen. I think he's going to play tonight. I'm going to go with the Cavs at the plus 3.5 in this game. Next game is the San Antonio Spurs at the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are 6.5 point favorites, minus 295 on the money line. The Spurs are plus 240 on the money line. I like the Suns here at the minus 6.5. I do like this Spurs team. I think they're going to be good here in the next few years. They have a young team that plays hard. I've watched a couple of their games early in the season to check out Wembyama. But I think the Suns team is going to be too much for them, especially in Phoenix. So I'm going to go with the Suns at the minus 6.5. And then the Magic at the Clippers. Clippers are 6-point favorites, minus 260 on the money line. Orlando is plus 215 on the money line. Over-unders at 220.5. The Magic are a young team that's been rebuilding and are starting to get better, but I like the Clippers here at the minus 6. I just think the Clippers have a little too much talent on that team. So that's going to be my picks for the NBA tonight. Cavs plus 3.5, Suns minus 6.5, and the Clippers at the minus 6.
Okay, my NBA for tonight, I got the Knicks at Cleveland. I'll take Cleveland plus the 3.5. I got San Antonio at Phoenix. I'll take Phoenix minus 6.5. And Orlando at the Clippers. I'll take the Clippers minus 6.
All right. Let's see. NHL tonight. I think there's only a couple games in the NHL, if I remember correctly. You have the LA Kings at the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs are 1.5 favorites on the puck line, minus 154 on the money line. The Kings are plus 128 on the money line. Over-unders at 6.5 goals. I like the Maple Leafs here on the money line at the minus 154. And then the other game tonight, you have the Predators at the Canucks. Canucks are 1.5 favorites on the puck line, minus 152 on the money line. Predators are plus 126 on the money line. Over-unders at 6.5 goals. And I'm going to go with the Canucks on the money line in this game. So I like the Maple Leafs and the Canucks both on the money line tonight in the NHL. And that's only 2 games tonight.
Yep, only 2. And I've got the same picks. I got LA at Toronto. I'll take Toronto money line, and Nashville at Vancouver. Vancouver money line.
After a night yesterday where you had, it seemed like all kinds of sports on, tonight's a little bit of a lighter slate. Because no NFL tonight, only a couple college, only like 3 NBA games, and only a couple hockey games. And of course, you have the 1 Major League Baseball game. So tomorrow, I would say I'll probably pick up a little bit more because I know you have 2 or 3 college football games. You'll have another World Series game. There'll probably be more than being on Wednesday night. There'll be probably quite a few NBA games, and I'd say hockey will pick up tomorrow with more than just 2 games as well. So I'd say there'd be a bigger slate on Wednesday, and then of course Thursday you're back in the NFL and more college football and all that stuff. So usually picks up a little bit as the week goes on. I don't know, maybe because it's Halloween, they didn't have as many games going on tonight.
Yeah, it might have been.
Kind of a light night for a Tuesday night. If you missed the Thunder from the Crypt that we aired last night on our YouTube page, if you're a pro wrestling fan, go check that out on our YouTube page. Also, you can find the Warrior Pro Wrestling from over the weekend. Go check both those shows out at Gonzo Sports Room on YouTube. Also, check out Gonzo's Wrestling Room from last night. You can find that on Facebook and YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. So, a lot of stuff to go check out. Before we get out of here, my picks for tonight, I'll go over again. My record for the year is 566 and 439. Tonight, World Series, I like the Rangers on the money line. College football, I like Northern Illinois at the minus 6 and Toledo at the minus 14.5. NBA, I like the Cavs plus 3.5, Suns minus 6.5, and the Clippers at the minus 6. And then hockey tonight, I like the Maple Leafs money line and the Canucks on the money line.
Yeah, here's my picks for tonight. I got Major League Baseball, Arizona at Texas. I got Texas money line. I've got New York at Cleveland. I got Cleveland plus 3.5. I got San Antonio at Phoenix. I got Phoenix minus 6.5. I got Orlando at the Clippers minus 6. NHL, I got the Kings at Maple Leafs money line, and Nashville at Vancouver, and Vancouver money
All right. Well, you have anything else before we get out of here for today?
line. No, I think I'm pretty good.
Like I said, enjoy tonight's slate of games. We will see you guys tomorrow right around 3 o'clock with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room as well. Also, check out the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network on all social media. But have a good night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.